The other question, Tim, is why Liverpool want him so badly.
Hmm.
Given that, from the evidence of the first game of the season against Bournemouth, and Bournemouth could have taken that game, I think Liverpool were quite lucky to get the goal by Chiesa, the third goal, as it were. Otherwise, it looked like Bournemouth were on the ascendancy, but then maybe 3 or 4 minutes before the Chiesa goal, things turned and everything was just happening in Bournemouth's penalty area, and you knew something was going to come. But it's not at the front that Liverpool needs strengthening. With the old Ekitike there, or the young new Ekitike there, it's at the back. I mean, their back looks really vulnerable. I think one of the
And
commentators.
Tommy identified this last week after the Community Shield. Now, I think things can improve, and it's absolutely vital for them to get could have a back. The Dutch fellow. What a great season he had last season. He was
Yeah,
a star turn, I think, last season. He really balanced out the side. And Van Dijk will maybe need a few games to get into the season. But they did look very disjointed there, didn't they? When Tommy identified it after the Community Shield. And I would agree with you. I would have thought that based on the evidence, what we've seen so far, Liverpool's priorities would not be spending over 100 million on a striker.
so why Isak? Are they just trying to stop anybody else getting him the way that Man City used to do and put him on the bench? Because he's gonna, Isak's gonna have a real job on his hands unless Liverpool are changing formation. But Ekitike, I think, is the natural centre forward for me. From what I saw in that first match, rather than Isak, Ekitike plays a slightly different role, but nevertheless, if you're going for a centre forward, which Liverpool have been sort of trying to get in place, the right person in that spot for a while, I'd go for Ekitike myself.
It seems crazy as well to spend 90 million on a backup striker, which Ekitike would be if Isaac joined in that system. There's only room for one of them. So I agree. That's what like you said, Tim. It might take a while for Van Dijk to get in the season, but he did look a bit slow again. And I know he's old, and I know he will use his experience and get a couple of yards on players, but he looks rusty at the moment, and he's quality, so I'm sure that's not a true reflection of how he will play for the rest of the season. But you don't know. I just think it's true. Ekitike looks a player as well, doesn't he? He looks like ready baked, like just hit, just go.
He looked like Marmoush looked when Marmoush first came to City. Although he didn't score that first match of Marmoush's, you just thought, oh my goodness, he's going to clean up. He was like speed
Yeah.
and everything else and skills as well. The combination at the back, though, for Liverpool, Tim, Tommy's identified one issue, the lack of speed of Virgil van Dijk. The other issue, I think, you've got to look at, if you look at that second goal of Bournemouth, brilliant goal by Semenya, picked up in his own half and dribbling through everybody. But you look at Kouyaté running backwards, his indecisiveness. You've got lack of speed and you've got indecisiveness in the other central back. I mean, that's just crying out to be exploited, isn't it?
Yeah, but also I think that the key problem there was there's no one in front of the back four protecting them, which they really needed. And Semenya was behind that line. What it was it McAllister and Szoboszlai,
Yes.
and you're gonna think they need the Dutch fella back, but also maybe they need a little bit more in that region of the field, especially because, as we're saying, Van Dijk is aging, so a little bit more protection. I was fascinated to see this is from years ago when United lost to Barcelona, and Ferguson was asked from this Barcelona side, what's the one player you would really want? And firstly, Ferguson said, that's the most stupid question I've ever heard. Which is a bit hard, I think.
Not quite in that accent, Tim.
No, but not far off. And then he said, think a little bit more. You know what the answer he gave was? Mascherano. Mascherano.
Yes.
That protecting role is so important, and I think it's going to be, with an aging Virgil van Dijk, it's going to be increasingly important this year for Liverpool.